Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys an update on the Steam Game Festival. The spring edition is running right now, and with this, you can play a ton of game demos right now over on Steam. Not a lot of heavy hitters here, however, there are a lot of interesting titles that are worth checking out. Obviously, you're not going to get to everything. It's a 4-day window, and having to play everything would be a little bit unlikely given how many demos they're running right now. I believe there's north of 20 or 30 demos, so a lot of stuff available. We'll take a look at that. Also, we have some details on Half-Life Alyx. The game will be releasing on March 23rd, and the preload date has been revealed as well. That'll be kicking off very soon, and we've got some updates to Xbox Game Pass, games being added very soon in the month of March, so we'll have a look at that at the end of this video. But right now, the Steam Game Festival Spring Edition is running from March 18th until the 23rd. The Steam Game Festival Spring Edition features dozens of demos available to download and play, as well as other highlighted games from the Indie Mega Booth, The Mix, Day of the Developers, and Wings. Play them now until March 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So some of the titles that you guys can check out, you can check out demos for these, and all of this is free. You don't have to pay anything. They're just demos at the end of the day. You've got We Are the Caretakers, an indie RPG strategy sim title. You've got Duster. You've got Hyper Parasite, which Hyper Parasite looks like a really cool game. It's a game that's actually in early access right now, but you can play the entirety of the game, I believe, for free, so that's really cool. It's a roguelite twin-stick shooter brawler that never plays the same twice. So that is available to play right now. You've got Sons of Ra, you've got a Filament, which also looks like a pretty cool little game. 100 Days Winemaking Simulator, how about that? Another simulator to add to the library. Evans Remains, you've got Tunche, you've got Superliminal, which is a first-person puzzle title. It's also touted to be rather funny. You've got Going Under, that's got a very, very unique art style. Quench is there, that's also enjoying a 50% off discount. We Should Talk, a casual indie sim title. Mystic Pillars, a story-based puzzle game. You've got Neon Noodles, Cyberpunk Kitchen Automation. Yes, Cyberpunk is making a big wave into gaming. How about a kitchen automation title? Backworlds. You've got some Wings Fun demos, Later Daters. You've got Pushy and Pulley in the Blockland. You've got Lord Winklebottom Investigates. Yes, a lot of these games are a little bit zany, a little bit off the wall, but nonetheless rather interesting. Hey, Haven has a demo available. This is really cool to see. This is a really, really interesting title. A adventure game that has a very, very cool art style, and there is a uninitialized demo right now. It's noted uninitialized. I don't know what that is about. If you go to the Haven page, it says play uninitialized for free, and it ends in 4 days. I'm guessing that's just a error in terms of offering this for free. Whatever the case may be, demo for that is available. You've got Jack Axe, Oprienza the Stolen Sun. I believe that's available on the Epic Game Store, but now it's going to be making the transition to Steam, I believe, come March 31st. Hazel Sky, you've got Liberated, Retrograde Arena, Rising Hell. You've got Coffee Talk. You've got Neverinth. This looks like a pretty interesting little title, an early access game. Explore the ever-changing halls of the Neverinth and uncover the history of the Valkyrie. Do glorious battle against the beasts and monsters of Norse legend. Very positive reception on Steam for its early access period, and that is a part of the Steam Game Festival as well. So a lot of cool stuff. Honestly, the Steam Game Festival right now, and things like this that Jeff Keighley is trying to implement, it's really cool, and hopefully you'll see this being implemented in bigger ways in the future. Right now, it is kind of limited to smaller titles, indie games, which is fine. However, if this is well received, and so far it has been pretty well received, hopefully this extends to all gaming. Right now, a lot of these major events from your E3s and GDC, those events have been postponed, canceled, whatever you want to call it, but it would be a great way to connect with the consumer if you're doing events like this and you even offer them ways to play these demos. If the demos are available on location at these big events, why can't they offer them some way to players all over the world? Obviously, we're not asking for the entire game or anything, but a small demo, I think that's something that could be rather advantageous as a promotional element to a lot of these games. So hopefully, a lot of other developers and studios will pick up on it, and they'll start to get involved with things like the Game Festival. And I know Jeff Keighley does want to bring it to other platforms as well. Right now, it is only on Steam, but if we can get it on other platforms, hey, bring it to Switch, bring it to Xbox, bring it to PlayStation. get this more normalized in gaming. While it's nice as a PC thing right now, if more and more platforms do offer something like this, that means more and more publishers and developers are going to take notice of it, and ultimately that's how we're going to end up with bigger and bigger games as a part of something like the Game Festival. But kudos to Jeff Keighley for working this out, and kudos to Steam for being, I believe, the first one that has picked up on doing events like this, and they offer a lot of interesting games, even if they aren't the biggest game right off the bat. Just looking at it, I want to play Haven, I want to try out a game like Going Under, even a game like We Should Talk. They're interesting titles, and offering free demos in an event-style format like this, where there's this air of, oh, this is a really cool event going on, let me check out some of these games. I think as a promotional piece, especially for a lot of these games that would otherwise go really under the radar, I think it makes a lot of sense. Alright, moving on from that, one of the most anticipated games of the year has to be Half-Life Alyx. I can't believe within the span of just a couple of days, Half-Life Alyx and Doom Eternal are coming out, but yes, that is what's happening. I know Half-Life Alyx is going a little bit more so under the radar given the fact it is a VR exclusive title, but nonetheless, a return of Half-Life is something, VR or not, I'm going to be very excited for. The game itself releases March 23rd, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and Steam preloading will begin this Friday. We do have the minimum system requirements for the game. We don't have the entire system requirements either, but minimum system requirements: Core i5 7500 and a Ryzen 5 1600, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and then a GTX 1060 or an RX 580. So all things considered, given that this is a VR game, that is not all too difficult to run. However, ultimately, if you are going to want to run the game at a, higher resolution, get peak performance, peak settings, things like that, you're probably going to need some beefy hardware, given that it's a VR game, given that it looks like it's a visually intensive game. All those factors coupled together, you would think that you would need quite the nice PC to run the game at its most optimal performance. Half-Life Alyx is Valve's VR return to Half-Life series. It's the story of an impossible fight against a vicious alien race known as the Combine, set between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2, playing as Alyx Vance, you are humanity's last chance for survival. And obviously, the timing of Half-Life Alyx is really good right now because Black Mesa just came out, so there's an inherent buzz added to Half-Life right now, and hopefully this opens the door for more Half-Life games in the future. I know that everybody's still waiting for Half-Life 3. Will that game ever come to fruition? I don't really know. However, it is seemingly becoming more and more likely, given that there is that air of Half-Life. The developers are coming out and saying that this isn't just a one-time thing and they want to return to the franchise for the foreseeable future. How we'll see that turn out in the future? I mean, Valve has said a lot of things. We've been wanting Half-Life to return for a long time. It might be, hey, they are returning to Half-Life, but we're not going to get off the ground for another Half-Life game for a few years, maybe even longer than that. So I'll just take it day by day, but I'll have that, lingering thought in my head of that hope of seeing Half-Life return in a, full form and seeing it come back at a consistent rate, because one game is great, it's a VR game, so a lot of people aren't going to be able to check it out, but if we can get consistent game rollouts where we're getting games every 2 to 3 years, that would be an incredible feat for Half-Life and really a return to form for Valve. Lastly, I do want to quickly go over Xbox Game Pass updates coming to PC in the month of March. A lot of good games being added in March, however, unfortunately not quite as good as the console update. Generally speaking, the PC updates have lingered a little bit behind. It's only $5 on PC versus 10 on console, so it's kind of understandable. But coming soon to Xbox Game Pass for PC, and I should reiterate that it says soon, not necessarily will all of these games be added in March, and there might be more games coming as well. We have Astro Blaster, a comedy game set in Shakespeare's London. Play as Dr. Simon Foreman and treat his patients using astrology and win him a medical license. Bleeding Edge, this is Ninja Theory's title. Grab your team and tear it up in Bleeding Edge, an electrifying online brawler where every fighter comes mechanically enhanced for mayhem. Choose your fighter from a diverse cast of colorful characters from the edges of society. Burn Rubber as bold and beautiful Buttercup with her detachable saw blade arms. Wreak Havoc as black metal rocker Nidhogger with his electrifying guitar solos, or slash up the streets as Damon, New York's most wanted assassin. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is also being added. Power Rangers fighting game, nothing really to write home about there, but hey, that's being added too. And probably the highlight game being added, The Surge 2. Yes, The Surge 2 just came out back in September, so for this game to be added to Xbox Game Pass, that is a pretty significant entry, and The Surge 2 was pretty well received. Game notes: on the way to Jericho City, your plane is shot down by a mysterious storm and crash lands in the outskirts. You wake up weeks later in a derelict detention facility inside the city. Robots are on rampage and a dark expanding nanostorm looms over the cityscape. In this hardcore, brutal melee combat game, The Surge 2 challenges you to unravel its hidden secrets. So those will be added to Xbox Game Pass soon, one of the best value deals in all of gaming, but I know some of you guys are still a little adverse to it, given that subscription services aren't going to be everybody's cup of tea, but nonetheless, those are being added very soon. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, check out the Steam Game Festival. A lot of cool stuff available as a part of that. Half-Life Alyx preloads will be going live this Friday. The game will be out March 23rd, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, and Xbox Game Pass getting some nice additions as well. That's going to conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.